My name is Allison Linney, and I'm the president of Allison Partners, an organizational development consulting firm based in Charlottesville, Virginia, where we help people with the messy people stuff. And one of the messy people things that so often comes into our lives is what do we do to navigate difficult conversations? So we've put together here for you 6 different modules that will help you to really think about how you navigate difficult conversations. The first one, believe it or not, is actually really learning to listen in a way that transform your relationships about things. The second tool is just what I think of as the fundamentals of feedback, Feedback 101, learning how to give both positive and negative feedback, lots of compliments and thank yous because they are essential part of the process, as well as giving difficult feedback and making sure people have the information they need, the context for understanding why we do what we do in your organization and why it matters for their role. Then what I want you to think about in terms of the third module is how can we be much more explicit about being sure that we have shared expectations, that very often we're wishing and hoping that people know what we want rather than being really clear about it, and a lot of times people haven't told us what they want from us. And so in fact, it's incredibly important to do what you can to make sure everyone's on the same page. And sometimes that feels like stating the obvious, but in fact, getting into a little bit of the obvious can lead to a whole lot more specificity and satisfaction for everyone. The fourth tool is putting the ladder of inference to work for you. And the ladder of inference is a concept that lets you think about how you go through your decision making and how you go through it so quickly that sometimes you may not realize what's going on in your head and how that's impacting the conversation. So learn and listen to that module for understanding how you could put the ladder of inference to work for yourself and others and perhaps get a different outcome out of some of your more difficult conversations. The fifth tool is to go back to those conversations where either A, you wish you had said something different. A lot of us report thinking, oh, if only I'd said that a day later when we were in a big conversation. Or perhaps you have a relationship that is particularly strained or strained over one matter and the conversation kind of goes the same way every time. You can actually use what you know about what always happens between you and the other person to re-script the conversation and get a better result and perhaps change what's happening in that dynamic rather than just going through the same experience and living with the same frustration over and over again. And finally, the sixth module is really in many ways, I think, essential for all of your leadership work. And that's to remember that getting rest and being able to relax and unplug and disconnect so that you can come back to work and be present at work in a really calm way is actually essential for everything we think you need to do as a physician leader, but especially when you need to navigate difficult conversations.